amazing. You're like, what, 50? About. It's great, Michael. Did it work out well? Yeah. With the
So congratulations, Earl.
Started with one and then I got to 200. He's not doing that in his head, he just memorized it.
Still around.
Hello,
When you reach my age, you're still around.
long dog. Hi.
So you didn't have a chance.
I wanted to thank you for giving my name to
Back then, getting out.
Can you smile? See, I know it.
Hi, Shelley. How are you?
Hi, Marjorie. How are you? Is that
Come after.
So do you remember? She's on her way. It's not what you know.
Oh my God! That's what we try. I'm sorry.
High rent district now on
That's right.
How would you jump out your yard?
You're blessed because then
This way, right next side.
close.
Don't move, Sam. Sam, you move.
Okay, now you can move.
Well done, Sam.
Okay, Sam, now you can move. Okay, Sam, now you can relax.
Since he's the youngest
Ask it. You want to take a walk with Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, you can take a walk with Michael.
Yeah, we're going. See, Michael? It's like 3 bagels.
You know what? Saturday, Sunday, and Monday party in California on the ride all help make it even more special, so we're really happy you're here. We know we're not going to talk too much, at least not now, because I know other people want to say a few words. I know Rabbi Gazi wants to say something. There's actually there's champagne. We're supposed to make the toast. Whoops. So help yourself to
champagne. And that's it. And if anybody would like to say anything, feel free to come up. I know for me it's wonderful to walk around and see wonderful friends and family that my parents have in their lives, and it makes us feel good that they've done that for themselves and for us. So thank you all for coming, especially Colby, who came such a long way, with a smile on his face on occasion.
my parents.
And make a time and think of something fun.
It's a very special, simcha to celebrate a birthday. But but even more of a special simcha to celebrate a birthday of people who have lived lives that are so productive, creative, and significant to the Jewish people and to mankind in general. So it's a great privilege for us, and I'm so happy to share this simcha with all of you, because the Havazelets, to each of us, have touched us in special ways and in special meaningful ways. And when a person's life touches someone else's in a productive way, then the life has been worth living. And they say about Avraham Avinu, שהוא היה זקן בא בימים. Rashi says that what does it mean, zaken baba yamin? He was old, but he also baba yamin, that he came of days. Rashi says the significance of the second expression is that he made each day count. That each day he did something important. For us, we know, I am very honored that we are celebrating 75 years in the life of a very wonderful, distinguished. I would like to say first of all that he's a friend, because the first characteristic of Rabbi Havazelet is not that he's a rabbi, it's not that he's a great scholar, or he's a wonderful teacher, or a wonderful leader of the Jewish community. And then the first defining quality of Rabbi Havazelet is that he's a friend. And I do not know what birthday we're celebrating of Sarah. We are keeping it a secret. Also, and humility. Sarah also has contributed a great deal to the Jewish people and to mankind in her compassion, in her clarity of purpose, and above all, in also providing an environment in which people can feel comfortable coming to her house. I know that in our community, Havazelet's home is a bayit patuach lilvacha. It's a home that's open like Avraham Avinu's tent. And so many people rely on their friendship, rely on their guidance, and their inspiration. Some years ago, I had an opportunity of discussing a little bit with Sarah and Meir their very great pasts and their very great traditions. And I know with what admiration I was able to hear and read stories about Rabbi Mirsky, and the scholarship and the inspiration that he was as a human being. And that is Sarah's tradition. And we spoke about Rabbi Havazelet, Rabbi Meir, his parents, the wonderful midot that they had, and the wonderful dedication to the Jewish people that had Yerushalayim. Today I would like to say something else, Rabbi Meir and Sarah. Today I want to say that although you come from a very illustrious family, I think that the time will come, and it's already in here, that people will be taking pride in your life. And to be able to say that we come from such people and all the wonderful things that they did and all the things that they taught us. And I think that this may be my greatest bracha to you, that you should continue to be. What does it mean? It says, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. It means when you mention a person who's good, or Zachur Latov, you always bring a bracha to these people. And I think Hashem should give you Orech Hamim Tovim, that should continue to become sources of inspiration to your children, to your friends, to the Jewish community, in all that you do, and that you should continue to become models of inspiration for the future. And that people should say, we come from the family of Sarah and Meir Havazelet. Mazal tov.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ruti. I'm the youngest daughter of Sarah and Meir. And I want to thank you all for coming. It really warms my heart to see all the love that my parents have in their lives here today. It's a wonderful feeling. And it seems like my parents have become fixtures in the community over time, and I can't count the number of people that have been adopted into the family over the years. I thought I had enough older brothers and sisters, but apparently not. I've learned so many things from my parents over the years, so many gifts and so many lessons that I've learned. But as I'm sitting here looking at everybody today, the one lesson that stands out for me the most is that of community. And what I was taught is that one should gather people around themselves to care for them, for people to love, people to cry with, people to laugh with, people to pray with. What I was taught is that a life that has that in it really has God in it. And so I want to thank all of you for coming and making this a wonderful experience for my parents and giving them a gift to the community. And I want to thank you for being my parents and giving me my life.
Gabbai and Israel. Whenever Hagazi is away on vacation or trips to Israel, and I'm in charge of the shul, we need someone to give us a good sermon for the week. I always call upon Rabbi Havazelet. Though he isn't paid for it, he does a very good job and keeps us happy. So I want to, on behalf of all the people here, I want to thank you for the kindness and freedom in which you come without being begged or anything. It's really a free will offering of being helpful, and he's always available to help out in an emergency. So I think Rabbi Havazelet deserves a lot of praise and gratitude for the help he gives. Thank you.
If you don't know me, you might know I tend to talk in poems, and for Sarah and Meir, I have a poem for you. It says, Dear Sarah and Meir, no, dear Sarah, you've made it. We never thought it could be done. So many years as one with Meir, you almost made it look like fun. 150 years you've spent between you inhabiting this earth, while you were steeped in rational sanity. Meir's were of exotic dreams and childish mirth. We remember one Erev Pesach, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, though Meir invited and invited, he himself almost forgot to show. While you shopped, cooked and cleaned, baked your matzot and kashered your pot, Meir went off on a vacation that took him to mystical grave sites in Tveria and Tzvat. Though he promised he'd be back before Kos Rishon was raised in hand, actually it wasn't until midway through the Manishtana when Meir finally returned from the Promised Land. In his mind there was perfect balance. The back-breaking work you did all alone brought you such joy, and it could only add to your great satisfaction to see Meir's stories light him up like a little boy. I remember he once went to Egypt, to places where American tourists were often found dead in the street, and though you cried and begged and pleaded, off he went without skipping a beat. At the pyramids, the canal, the mosques and the dam, Meir's use of Arabic was infectious. Alaikum salam. Like a true Arab, he looked and sounded. Old sandal on dust-covered feet, a keffiyeh on his head and round his body, the hotel's nicest sheet. He'll tell you to this day, every single Arab showed him kindness and love. That he finally came home in one piece is truly a miracle from above. How I remember his talks of King David, the magnificence of the psalmist's choice of words, his depiction of the sweet taste of God's cherries, and the chirping of Hashem's little birds. How Meir found in the Psalms sweet music, how he glowed with each word that he read, and though to us it was just a nice lecture, to Meir he was transformed into King David instead. To him, Psalms were not merely words, but the praise of God's creation of earth. The joy of every line that he read gave him and King David such worth. While all of this was happening, while all these things were being done, Sarah never strayed from his side for a moment. For most of these 75 years, you guys have truly been as one. So to Sarah and Meir, we adore you. To Don Quixote and Dulcinea, we wish you long years of love and fun. To Sweet and Low and her champion named Meir, may you share all eternity as one.
Bravo.
Who's next?
Say, it occurs to me that three measures of a successful life are a long life, friends, and family. And we're here to celebrate, and I'm sorry to tell you, recognize the first one that's been achieved, long life. And just looking around at the number of friends, old and new, and the family that keeps growing, I think that there's a lot to celebrate. So, l'chaim, my parents, I love you.
Amar Rabbi Akiva, it says in the Gemara Rosh Hashanah. It says, Shir shel yom, shir shel yom. Beit HaMikdash, every day was a song for a day, a song for a day. My life, 75 years, was a song for a day. Especially the year I'm married to Sarah. Every day was a song. What a glorious song it was. So much light and music and joy and love and friendship, understanding. Do you know, I married Sarah, I think after 6 weeks I met her. You know what? You shouldn't change your mind. I knew I must do it. And thank God it was the most successful thing I did in my life. And thank God. She's my sweet and low, I call her. I love her. And what can I tell you? Since then, I lean on her heavily. And let's not kid ourselves. Life is a mixed bag. You know, everything is there. The times of difficulty, times of fright or fear. I must tell you, when our beautiful Carly was so sick, we were very scared. We were very frightened. One night I told Sarah, you know what? Let's hold hands and say Shema Yisrael together. And you wouldn't believe it, but it's a fact. Since then, we say Shema Yisrael and we say the whole paragraph. And it does something good to us. I recommend to all of my friends to do that. First of all, everything melts. Everything is, you know, the anger is gone. It can't go on. Maximum for one day. And we hold hands and we love, and I lie near my beautiful wife. I love her. I don't, nothing, just love. You know, it's like I said, one vote is love. Love is always the pleasure of giving and not taking.
she taught me that. Love is a pleasure. The more you love, the more you're hungry to love. It's never saturated. Shall have it, yeah, it says in the Song of Songs. Love is always not to wait, it should come to you. Go out and meet it. Always go out to my beloved and tell her how much I love her. And this goes on and on day and night. And for this, I praise the Almighty, who was so good to us. And our children and our dear friends who came here, I'm so thankful to you. Every one of you, every one of you. There's one girl here, Trudy. I wanted to adopt her many years ago. She wouldn't, yeah, we had the papers ready, and it didn't come out. I don't know why. And now she's with her husband, David Goods. It's so good to see her. And everybody else, and I have the rabbi, God bless him, my mentor, my rabbi, my teacher, and Jamie. Yehuda, God bless him, and Shelley, the wonderful friends. Zeev and his wife were so kind to come. Marvin, believe me, my Mechuten and his beautiful wife, you know, we never had an argument yet. Would you believe it? We always get along. It's unbelievable. And then they have the Cobras, and then we have the Lenny and Charlotte, and then we have Esther and Michael and Hannah, Joy, Marsha, Rachel. Thank God I'm still here. No, some people came in to see. Is he still here, the guy? Yeah, I'm here. The country act. Yes, I'm here. It's true, my wife looks like my granddaughter, but I'm still here. And I'm doing pretty good. And life is good to me. Life is beautiful. Life is great. Life is beautiful. My wife taught me that. The rage I had in me and the other things, envy, she taught me, no, life is precious. Enjoy it as it is. My immortal beloved. You know, I want to share with you just one little Mishnah. After all, our rabbi is here and share some Torah. We say women have a clock, a biological clock, and now they found out men too have a biological clock. The rabbis knew it a long time ago. There is a wonderful Mishnah which gives us a guide how one should grow from childhood to maturity to middle age and to old age. You know, it was a great educator in France, Diderot. Diderot said, thank the Almighty that a child is not born right away a grown-up. With a small brain, no education, big body. That's he will kill his parents and his teachers. So thank God, what did God do? The child grows the same time, the same way, spiritually and physically. So when he's educated, he's not an animal, he's a mensch. Our rabbis gave us a guide. How should one grow? And this Mishnah is so beautiful. It tells us, Ben Chamisha lemikra. Take a child 5 years old, teach him to learn to read Chumash, to read stories of the Bible, to read about people. Ben Esa lemikra, the Mishnah, teach him halacha, teach him law, teach him, to recite Torah Sheba'al Peh, teach him the beautiful Mishnah. And then when you give him the mitzvot, teach a child that is responsible for his acts. Teach him that the child is a bar mitzvah, they should know from now on what he does, he is responsible. God forbid he gets into trouble, he will be on his own. Today they learned it in law. Then Chamesha, you have also in the Talmud. Let them learn dialectics, how to analyze things. When Shimon said the Chuppah, in 18 let him marry. When Esrim, Lirdov, run, you're young, you're aggressive, you're full of life. Some say run means in the army, some say run means for a job. Some say, but when Esrim means time to run, you're beautiful, you're young, you're full of ambition, it's time to run. When Shloshim Lekoach, the rabbis say, you have a family now, you have children, it's time now to be strong, you're a father. When Arba'im Lebina, middle age, Bina from the word Bain, you have a rich past, you have a future, and now you came to understanding, you came to realize things, not anymore the future, there's also a past, there's also an experience. But Chamishim Le'etza, it's time to give advice. Don't give advice before you're 50 years old. It's a good advice for everybody. Don't rush to give advice. At 50, then you start giving advice. People come to you and be careful, consult you. They ask you, Ben Hamishim rates, Ben Shishim, the Zikna. Start to think about it, get old. And Ben Shishim, the Seva, you get even older. And now I'm 75. And Ben Shmonim, Ligvura. Yes, I'm going to be, I hope soon, I'll make it. I'll be a hero, I'll be a winner. And then there's Ben Tishim, then there is Ben Meir. You know, used to say that Ben Meir is a person who is over. No, it's not true. We're going to try, Sarah, my love, to age elegantly. We're going to try to age nicely. And if God will, all of you, my friends, will be on our 100th birthday. And God will share with you and be with you. I love you all. Love you. Oh yeah, by the way, somebody comes says to me from a generation before, they don't know today people 70 is nothing. He still thinks that 70 is old. He says to me, no, look at me. I'm already 60, I jog every day, look at me. I look at him and say, you are only 60, you must have a terrible life.
About stories from the Bible and the Talmud and the Torah. Just always has stuff to teach me and stories to tell me. And Robbie always every time I come home, he's very happy to cook for everyone. He's always very 75 more years.
Okay, now Aviva, where are you?
Did you want to say something?
I guess I could.
That's fine. Yeah, everybody, it's my oldest granddaughter.
I just wanted to wish Ryder a happy birthday because they're all teaching things and they're like they're elderly so they know a lot and And I just had to happen.
What's about Sam? Sam? Okay, Rabbi Hoffman. Rabbi Hoffman. This is my dear friend. I love him so much. When we got together, we got the same problem. We are professors in Yeshiva University.
But I have the honor of knowing Rabbi Havazelet when I was a student first at Yeshiva University. Rabbi Havazelet was a very popular professor of Bible. So that's my first introduction to Rabbi Havazelet. But then in more recent times when I moved to Forest Hills, and Rabbi Havazelet was an important part of Havarat Yisrael as a teacher, and I enjoyed so many of his classes in Shiurim, as many of the people here have. I've been his driving companion. He's driven me home from school many times in the car. And often shared some good Lashon Hara with me and let me know what's going on in the inside workings of YU. Rabbi Havazelet is a very important cog in the wheel of YU, having been there for so many years. And of course, Sarah Havazelet and her family connection to YU as well. The family from both sides, the rabbi in terms of being a teacher in our community, and Sarah in terms of being hospitable to the community and having people over, whether it's for a Shabbat meal or for the famous Siddharim that they have in their home. Throughout the year, they're very hospitable, and each of them in their own right really is just open to everyone in the community, which evidences itself in the wonderful crowd that we see here. Rabbi Yesler, I have some quick gematria for them, so just on the spur of the moment, the only thing that the first thing I should say that quickly came to mind was Rabbi Havazelet's name, Meir or even Moshe. The first name begins with the letter Mem, and Mrs. Havazelet's name, Sarah, begins with a sin. So
I know, our life is very complicated.
So I lost the thought. I'm sorry. No, I was going in a different direction, but at the moment I completely blanked, so I apologize. Which goes to show it can happen to anybody anytime. So thank you very much. Mazel tov.
Oh, Sarah, to say a few words.
I'm not the one that makes the speeches in this family. But all I can say is thank you from the very bottom of my heart for coming and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed yourself with us and hope to see you in a lot of service.
Anybody else before it's gone? So Leah now is here, and I love her so much. One of my best.
I know Sarah since she's a little girl. And you may not believe this, but she looks exactly the same. So I'm talking about it's due to you. And then we didn't go to the same elementary school. She went to Shalamis, I went to public school. But we went to the same high school. We went to Herzliya together. And I think we went to Brooklyn College together. And after for a while she disappeared. That's when she went to marry him in Israel. But then when she came back with Ehud, I used to sit on Alice Perlman's porch because I lived in an apartment house and I didn't like to sit in front of an apartment house. And Meir and Sarah lived right next door. And since then, our little kids know each other from way back. I have pictures from birthday parties with Ehud and from camp with Leora. The other kids are too young. Then we were in a great books group for many years, and we go to the theater together for many years. my husband, Alaka Shalom, who loved Meir, and I think Meir loved him, would always say to me, "What's it all about?" I should tell him what life is about. That was his quote. He used to say, "What's it all about?" So I told him, you know what it's about? It's about the people with whom you come in contact and the relationships that you make. And that's all there is. So that was my answer. And today exemplifies it. And I wish you both a happy birthday at Latayim B'Arba'im.
Our dear friend Alice Spellman. Again, I wish her husband would be here. Unfortunately, you're gone. Bill was a wonderful, wonderful friend. Was this there Alice now? We are going steady already almost 50 years.
At least. I'm not normally a speaker, but I am moved to come up here because everybody's talking about the past, but I think my past with the Havazelet clan is about the oldest past there is. Actually, we lived next door to where Rabbi and Mrs. Mirsky lived. We bought that house. And of course I knew the Mirskys from Shulamith. And that's why I'm here, because a lot of people don't know about Shulamith, the Shulamith School for Girls. I was the second child enrolled because my mother was an organizer for Shulamith. She went knocking on doors. Do you have a daughter that you want to be trained well? We have someone here who is starting a yeshiva for girls, and we need to have your daughters. This is how she went around, knocking on doors. So I was brought to the school. Now the school was really a spark in the eyes of a rabbi who just escapes me. I can't remember his name. Rabbi Vogue. Came from Jerusalem, heard about Eitz Chaim, and said, if you have Eitz Chaim in Bowler Park, you have to have a yeshiva for girls in Bowler Park. And he called my mother. My mother was an organizer for the word go. And so she went around gathering people's names and encouraging them to send in orders. I was sent to the first day when the school was open. It was an apartment above a store on 13th Avenue at about 52nd Street, where later the public library took over a couple of stores. This was those days. I met Rabbi Volk and another little girl. So it happens that she was either a niece or a grandniece of Rabbi Volk, so she was there too. And he was our teacher for the day. I came home and my mother told the story to my friends. I said to her, Mom, a man, a blackboard, and another little girl. Is that a school? Well, today I can tell you I met someone in another life up in Peekskill, New York, who turned out to be a dear friend, considerably younger than myself. And how did we get to know one another? He came to a meeting, the first meeting of a group that was being formed at the JCC, a book reading club. And I was the first one there, and he was the second. So we started to talk. And I said to him, do you live around here? He said, no, I come from Peekskill. I said, Peekskill? I have a home in Mohegan Lake. He says, Mohegan Lake? I said, yeah, in the colony. Oh, he says, in the colony. In any case, it turns out his daughter is now a student, and almost a graduating student, in Shulamith School for Girls, which became not only an elementary school, but also a high school. And I thought it would be interesting for you to know that in this day and age, there is ongoing work for all of us. Thank you.
Mom, now can I...
Dr. Bo?